That'll do it, right?
Yep. Well, here to help us understand what's needed to assist our anxiety, not assist it, defeat
Work
it,
through it?
take through it, take control of it.
Discuss it, manage it.
Dr. Robbie.
Manage it. Hi, Dr. Robi
Manage
Ludwig.
it.
How are you?
Hello there.
Wow. So, thoughts on what you just saw?
Well, it's how many people feel when they suffer from anxiety. And I think we live in a world that's very triggering, right? I mean, there are things going on in the news. There's fears about finances, inflation, being replaced by AI, and then the normal things, our families, kids, friends. So it is part of being in the world. And the question is, how can we manage it so it's not disruptive? And that's usually when people bring me in.
What do you do? Because there's a lot. I find that I experience anxiety about having anxiety now. Like, I'm too anxious. Oh my gosh, my blood pressure's going to go. You know, I have to calm down because I'm freaking out. Like, and now I'm freaking out that I'm freaking out. How do you manage that?
Well, I think the first thing is to identify it. And there are lifestyle choices that really do help in terms of managing our anxiety. So working out can be hugely effective for anxiety and depression. Having certain grounding exercises like breathing and yoga, and also reminding yourself through self-talk to break it down. What exactly is triggering your anxiety? Sometimes nothing triggers it. And then you have to ask yourself, what would help me feel better in the moment? Routines are really helpful. Relying on support, you know, talking about it with supportive friends and family and doctors if need be.
Yeah. What is going on in our bodies when we are hit with anxiety? Because I think it affects different people different ways. Like, you guys know I both wake up really early and I work out. I've come to a point where that's not working anymore. Like, I'm fit, but I get out of the minute I step out of the gym, I'm like,
And you feel it then. Yeah.
And I'm someone
Has
that's
anything changed in your life that
No,
might?
I just think writ large.
Well,
geopolitical mishigas and getting a kid into college, you know, it's like...
Right, it's just life again.
Yeah.
And I think what happens with anxiety, it's an overactive alarm system. And we are designed to kind of scan the environment for danger so that we can protect ourselves. What happens with anxiety, and it impacts our nervous system, is that we are reacting like we are in imminent danger. And it's good to remind ourselves that we're not, and sometimes it's not clear what we're anxious about, and that's when you have some form of an anxiety disorder. It could be generalized anxiety disorder, where you're generally anxious about everything. It could be OCD, where it's very difficult to make choices, post-traumatic stress. So there are a whole range of different anxiety issues and disorders, and of course treatment for that. But I think engaging in really healthy lifestyle and knowing I have anxiety, what can I do to help myself feel more comfortable? Taking action in what you feel is dangerous. So if you're worried about politics or what's going on in the news, what can you do to take action to have some agency over your life, I think is really important.
And it's I think the access to that information as well is so triggering, because you know, all these elements that are like, oh, we're designing to calm you down, are now freaking you out. Like, my dad used to have a bad day at work. He used to drive home in silence. Like, he could just put the radio on. Now it's like, your phone, and then you scroll through Instagram. Everyone has a better life than I do. Like, you know, it's like there's so much pressure coming from all these different elements.
I think there are very unhealthy aspects about everyday life that are very triggering. And I think there's a difference, I know there's a difference actually, between stress and anxiety. Because stress is being worried about something, like an upcoming bill, a fight you just had, a test you might take, but after you take care of it, your stress minimizes. So it's really connected to that one specific thing. Anxiety is more general, and the phone, listen, we know it makes us anxious. The news and what we hear, sometimes who we talk to, you know, can all heighten our generalized anxiety that we're not safe in the world anymore. And so what can you do to take control kind of fights against that idea of helplessness.
Reaching out to your community is so super important, because I had this epiphany over the weekend that we are now programmed to go through social media, and we do it alone. Like when I'm
Yeah.
looking on the,
Yep.
I'm alone, and I'm
Yep.
like, this is a traumatic thing, and I'm doing this alone. Why am I doing this? We should be in communion with other
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
And I think
who
people
can say, "This is
minimize
real."
like
Yeah.
what's wrong with me. There's
Yeah.
a tendency to think you're more dislike other people than alike. And what we find out when we talk and we connect, oh, we are normal.
Yeah.
Everybody's having this reaction.
Or we are all weird.
It does.
And
It does, seriously, though. When you
Right.
find a common ground with people, like, I'm not the only one feeling this way,
Right.
it's like, okay.
It's like it's very comforting.
Yes.
So I think understanding the normality of some of this anxiety, that we are reacting to something, but in the end, what can we do to feel like we can have more control over our world so we don't have to live in that constant state if we don't have to?
Right.
Yeah.
I always tell the kids, on Sunday nights, my kids, I'm like, you are not, every single kid is in bed right now going,
That's right.
oh my gosh, it's Monday.
tomorrow.
Time to go. Yeah,
Right.
we're all going
and the
through
teachers probably
Yep,
too.
yep, yep.
Exactly.
But you know, in terms of parents and kids, modeling, it's okay to show your kids,
Right.
I am anxious about such and such, so this is what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
I'm going to take away my phone for a little.
Yeah.
We're going to be in nature and
Right.
walk
That's nice.
around. You know, you want to show your child that you can identify anxiety and manage it
Right.
because they will plug into you.
Yep.
And you never want to act like the sky is falling
Yeah.
and you
Right.
need them to help you.
Right.
That's great.
Truer words have never been uttered. Thank
Thank
you
you.
so much, Dr.
You're
Robi.
welcome.
We have you on speed dial. Make sure to watch Dr. Robi on The Pivot with Dr. Robi Ludwig, which streams on YouTube. You can get more sound advice by following her on the gram at Dr. Robi Ludwig.
Great advice. Thank you so much.
Thank
Really,
you.
we'll have you
Truly.
back tomorrow.